Hey guys, it's Chris at Highline Guitars. You're watching another one of my YouTube guitar building videos. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope that by the end of this video, I'll have earned the honor and privilege of your subscription. So the other day, I posted up a video where I showed my CNC pickup winder winding a pickup. And that video sparked a conversation in the comments section where folks were talking about the advantages of hand winding pickups as opposed to using a CNC winder like I've got here. I found that conversation to be kind of silly, and I made an effort to sort of poke fun in a lighthearted manner at the folks who were involved in the conversation. And one of the things that I had mentioned was that it would be kind of ridiculous to wind a bobbin by hand. Meaning, to me, hand winding means that you're wrapping the wire by hand around the bobbin. Well, you know, a bobbin can have anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 turns of wire on it. So when you think about trying to wind it by hand, that starts to sound pretty ridiculous. In fact, I kind of calculated it and I figured out that to wind a single humbucker bobbin would take me about 30 minutes to wind it by hand. And that's winding really fast. So to do a pair of humbuckers for a guitar, like a Les Paul, that would take a good 2 hours to wind the 4 bobbins necessary to make those 2 humbuckers. You know, if I was doing single coils for like a Stratocaster, we're talking 3 single coil pickups. Usually those have anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 turns of wire on it. So there you're probably looking at least 45 minutes to wind each coil. So we're talking you know, well over 2 hours to make the 3 pickups. Now that's feasible. I mean, you could actually do it. And I'm sure that there are some of you out there watching this video who probably have actually done that before. However, to do it as a business, to actually make pickups that way and sell them to make money is preposterous. First of all, the time that it takes to do that, coupled with the potential for a repetitive injury, you know, to your wrist, to your fingers, your elbow, your shoulders, your neck, your back, you know, everything. Trying to do that for hours on end is just simply crazy. So in truth, we have to look at the term hand wound and what it actually means. What is a hand wound pickup? Well, in truth, a hand wound pickup is made by spinning the bobbin on a bobbin winding machine, usually an electric machine. Now, I have seen some that were fishing reels that were modified to do that, but still, it just gets so ridiculous. But most cases, they're spun with an electric motor. And the only hand work that's involved is pinching the wire with your thumb and forefinger and guiding the wire back and forth across the height of the bobbin. That's called the traverse. So your hand traversing the wire. I think a more accurate term would be to call it hand guiding rather than hand wound pickups. I think that when you say hand wound, that's misleading because nobody is standing there winding the wire around the bobbins by hand. They're spinning it on a machine. But that still begs the question, is a hand-guided or hand-traversed pickup better than a CNC wound pickup? And I started out making pickups 20 years ago using a machine that was involved hand guiding, which is the way most pickup winding machines are done today. You know, if you look at the Shatton winder and I think it's Mojo Tone, they make a winder. all of those involve hand traversing the wire. And that's a common method that a lot of folks who make pickups use to guide the wire, to traverse the wire onto the bobbin. However, that in itself is tedious. Maybe not as tedious as hand winding the wire around the bobbin, but sitting there for 4 to 5 minutes for each bobbin, traversing that wire back and forth is very tedious. And I know that from experience. So over the years, I looked for new and better ways to make a pickup winder that could automatically traverse the wire. And one of the designs that I originally built was the design that was created by Jason Lawler of Lawler Pickups. I bought his book and followed that whole process of making the winder so that I could hand traverse the wire. But then he came up with a method for automatically traversing the wire using a cam. And I actually built a winder of my own design that used something similar. And I offer those plans on my eGuitar Plans website, as well as my Highline Guitars merch store. And that one worked well, but I still wanted to incorporate CNC technology, and that's why I came up with this CNC winder. And the traversing mechanism is controlled by the software, and you're able to select from 4 different winding patterns: no scatter, minimum scatter, moderate scatter, and maximum scatter. And those 4 patterns pretty much give you every winding pattern that you could ever possibly want when it comes to making pickups. And by using the minimum, moderate, and maximum scatter, you're mimicking the effect of traversing the wire by hand across the width of the bobbin. So there's really no difference. And you know, to say that because somebody traversed it by hand, it would somehow be better, well, first of all, there's no proof of that. And second of all, it's the same exact motion. Furthermore, even when I do a uniform winding pattern where there's no scatter, there is still going to be scatter, because even though this is CNC technology, which is very precise, it still relies on household electrical current, which fluctuates. So the motor is constantly speeding up and slowing down. The traverse is constantly changing speed as it moves back and forth. It's just what happens with household power. It's not reliable. I mean, you would literally, to get a perfectly wound bobbin, you would have to be winding the bobbins in the vacuum of space using the most advanced winding motor and electrical technology known to man. And we don't do that, obviously. So to say that hand wound or hand guided pickups are better than CNC is just simply isn't true. So, you know, I hope that this video will give some of you some food for thought about the differences between what a so-called hand wound or hand guided pickup and a CNC wound pickup. And if you have any thoughts or opinions of your own, be sure to post those down in the comments section below, and we can keep that conversation going. But just know that if you're going to really push the whole idea that a so-called hand wound pickup is better than a CNC winder pickup, I'm going to probably poke some fun at you, or I'm going to call you out and challenge you to try to back that up, because you can't. At any rate, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. That always helps this channel. And if you want to take your support to the next level, visit my eGuitar Plans website or my Highline Guitars merch store. There's links in the description below. And there you can purchase plans for building all different kinds of guitars, as well as the tools that we use to make guitars, including my CNC pickup winder and my older cam-driven pickup winder. And if you're so inclined, you can also pick up a t-shirt or a coffee mug. And any purchase you make there is going to help support this channel so I can keep making videos on building guitars and then sharing that knowledge and experience with you so that it will help you to build better guitars, or at least develop the confidence that you can actually build your own guitar. At any rate, if you want to keep it simple, you can also click the thanks button down below and leave a little tip in the amount that you think is fair, especially if you've got a question that you'd like me to answer. If you've got a question you really wanted to answer, you can leave a tip for a couple of bucks and I will always answer it. So until the next episode, as always, take care, stay safe, and I hope you'll be back for more of these guitar building videos.